I think we have many difficult challenges that we are all facing. So what can you do about that using technology and changing our behaviors?
The XTC was designed to help highlight companies solving for the world's toughest challenges. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals gave us a fantastic framework. It's really a community. It incorporates big companies, universities, venture capitalists to help these companies get to where they need to go a little bit faster.
XTC is important because it is a way of organizing a vast number of great ideas and great entrepreneurs that can support each other and learn from each other and mentor.
Startups can be very fast, very free in thinking. That is very inspiring for the big companies, and therefore they bring a very nice facet to the entire game.
When you have a diverse background, that is a power. So we want to bring diversity, inclusion through our footprint and being able to show examples of success, not just here, but across to many geographic areas.
Technology is a powerful enabler for positive change and for identifying solutions to challenges that the world faces.
And since XTC is based on the UN SDG goals, it really helps us gain powers to bring vision of positive change to the world.
It's a totally unique competition that brings together the world's best entrepreneurs.
It provides companies like Hillreach with a platform to be seen, to be heard, and to build relationships to help us grow around the world.
XTC 2021 was amazing. We have the opportunity of learning how to pitch to investors and get wow.
Innovation can truly happen anywhere.
It's always been the case that there are smart people all over the world. Now our job is to bring the world to them and just empower the smart people everywhere with the resources that we've always had here that you can just bring virtually through things like Zoom.
I was incredibly impressed with the energy and passion of the companies and entrepreneurs I had a chance to meet.
It's so great to see the XTC community come together to harness their energy and creativity to tackle these issues around sustainability, security, and diversity.
A global challenge leads to the global market. We want to work with entrepreneurs to solve big problems and create big business together.
Young and Bill's vision of catalyzing the startup community is truly being realized through the XTC competition.
Welcome to the Extreme Tech Challenge 2021 Global Finals. My name is Victoria Slivkoff. I am the Executive Managing Director of XTC. Thank you for joining us from all around the world. I am so thrilled that you're here with us today. Extreme Tech Challenge is the world's largest startup competition for entrepreneurs addressing global challenges to make this world a radically better place. We provide exceptional founders with the potential for global visibility, venture investment, corporate strategic partnerships, and mentorship. The United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals has given us a great framework for organizing XTC's 7 competition tracks, and they are AgTech and Food Tech, Clean Tech and Energy, EdTech, Enabling Tech, FinTech, Health Tech, and Mobility and Smart Cities. This year, over 3,700 startups applied from almost 100 countries across 6 continents. We doubled the number of regional competitions to 21 and proudly launched XTC Africa and XTC Latin America, expanding our footprint to some of the most exciting tech ecosystems across the world. Over 300 VC and corporate innovation judges narrow our application pool to 80 global finalists. And today, we will showcase the exceptional category winners and the special award winners who emerged from this rigorous evaluation process. This year's special awards were chosen to highlight topical tech trends, promote diversity, and align with current events. They are COVID-19 Innovation and Female Founder Awards continue from last year, as well as 2 new awards, Ethical AI and People's Choice, which was determined by public voting. Today, these startups will pitch to a panel of world-leading investors and corporate leaders. And at the end, we will announce which one startup will be crowned global winner of the Extreme Tech Challenge 2021. In addition to showcasing some of the world's most innovative startups, we will also feature investor panels discussing key trends in sustainability. Talk to us throughout the program by using the hashtags XTC 2021 and NextGen XTC via social media. Finally, to learn more about the entire cohort of XTC 2021 Global Finalists, please head to our website at extremetechchallenge.org. These purpose-driven startup founders are looking for partners who can help them scale their impact. And now, let's get started with a chat with XTC co-founders Young Sohn and Bill Tai. Please enjoy the program. I am so pleased to be here today with XTC co-founders Young Sohn, chairman of the board at HARMAN International and founding managing partner at Walden Catalyst. Young is a Silicon Valley entrepreneur, investor, and corporate leader who has built and exited billion-dollar businesses. And Bill Tai, partner emeritus at Charles River Ventures and one of the most successful angel investors of our time with 22 IPOs under his belt. Hi, Young. Hi, Bill. Nice to see you both here. It's so great to kick off XTC 2021 Global Finals with you.
Great to see you, Victoria.
Excited to be here.
Great. I feel like this is a great time to talk about purpose-driven tech innovations. And as we've seen from the recent pandemic, technology has been transformative in creating new solutions and opportunities. And innovation is happening at a faster pace. You've both worn many, many hats as successful VCs, entrepreneurs, and corporate executives, and have seen the evolution of tech over the last 3 decades. So I want to start right here. What would you say are the next waves of tech innovation breakthroughs that you're most excited about? Let's go to Young first.
I think we are in the 5th wave of technology innovation curve. And the first could be the mainframes in 60s that improved our productivity for government and others. And then you've seen mini computers that enabled enterprise to be productive. And then personal with the internet that gave all of us at home to give that reach that would be possible. And then of course, mobile and cloud was what given all of us supercomputers in our pocket and connected and being able to do our apps. Today, I think we are in a what we call 5th technology era, which is basically driven by data and AI, which is giving us much more insights about what we do, and that can give us the actions that can make huge differences. And XTC winners in this year are really applying AI, blockchain, and deep analytics, and across many of these applications that can make huge differences in a way that are making all of us to live in a better place.
Yeah, I'll pick up on what Young was saying. If you think about the applicability of computation in our hands now, it used to be mainframes and minis and PCs, and now you've got incredible amounts of power really everywhere because technology has become pervasive. We're finally at a point now where I think digital technology in general can lower the friction to good solutions in every way. Technology over the past sort of 40, 50, 60 years has done also a lot of good and bad. If you think about technology as a bit of a double-edged sword, it creates a lot of progress, but historically in the industrial era, it threw off a lot of side effects that we didn't understand were as harmful as they were to people and animals on our planet. And I think we're at a point now where if you think about digital technologies and their ability to lower friction to good use cases, make them very, very replicable and scale them rapidly, we can now try to apply that to solutions that are good for this planet to have an impact that we couldn't before. Because we've got to take that trajectory of technology doing seemingly good economic beneficial things, but then harm to our planet, and change that from bad to good with digital scaling today.
Mm-hmm.
And
so I want to pick.
When you go into that, there are a lot of side effects, right? Cloud sounds good, but it creates a lot of power. It generates a lot of power. So there are many side effects that Bill talked about. Got to be managed with even better technology, better cooling, and lower way of doing it, not at the same power ratio that are required. That's just an example of a power and performance requirements. But there are many side impacts that we have to manage as we are advancing our innovation.
Mm-hmm. So I want to pick up on that, talking about tech for good and why is this the right time to invest in purpose-driven technology innovations? Not because this is absolutely the right thing to do, but also represent some of the biggest investment opportunities today. Bill, do you want to take that question?
Sure. Young's always said that for many decades before this era, saying that you were driving a purpose-driven company meant that you could never make profits. And that felt like it was largely the case 20 years ago. I think we're at a point now where the technology cost curve has brought a lot of solutions to bear that now have cost structures that allow companies to make profit. And so the capital markets are now rewarding entrepreneurs in an oversized way that build businesses that do good for this, that both build profit, but also do good for this planet. You could look at examples, whether they're Tesla in, less carbon footprint, or Beyond Meat in what they do with, non-meat proteins. Both of them and others in that category have generated collectively, I think, market cap of over $1 trillion in the last 10 years. So now is the time to start a business that is profitable and doing good for this planet, because the capital markets will also reward and fuel it.
Young, your thoughts?
Well, I think the cost of doing business has changed drastically because of the digitalization, and the global reach can be really accessible. And I think a lot of great ideas was always contained in certain area, but could not be reached, couldn't be solved. Now with the digitalization, with Zoom and others, you can be able to reach, you can work from distance. So there's many ways I think one can collaborate, working on a bigger problems. And it is right. I think that there are many great ideas, sustainability-driven ideas, becoming even more critical as people are more aware of the issues. And I believe that UN 17 sustainability goals that are driven, these are very critical goals. And I believe that solving these problems can be also great business. And I believe whether it's addressing agricultural issues, whether it's health issues, whether it's inclusion issues, there are so much technology that can make a positive impact if you're using it right.
That's great. And Bill, you founded XTC about a decade ago and then teamed up with Young a few years ago to relaunch XTC as this global community that brings together entrepreneurs and large corporations working together to tackle global challenges that's inspired by the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So under this new structure, XTC is now active in almost 100 countries across 6 continents. What are you hoping to accomplish with our platform?
I'll tell you what, so back in the beginning, Young was our first backer. So we co-founded it because he put up the money to help us, do that first contest. And I think we kind of stumbled around as a really entrepreneurial contest for years. Young has added with you an element of scaling. I think I've always had this vision of this becoming kind of a bigger marketplace-driven function that really allows and empowers the best people around the planet that didn't have access to resources before to flourish. And it's wonderful to see it happening now. I think, the reach, the strength of the entrepreneurs, the financial backing that's come into the companies that have been winning, it's beautiful to see. So I don't know that, of course there's more to be done, but I think we're on the right track. And I just want to see game-changing companies continue to come out of this contest that have really positive impact on this planet.
I think great companies will give more imitators. And what we want to do is really, with our program, try to create a successful impact companies that can help others to learn from and then want to imitate those success. So we have more successful companies that are participating. And part of this is in education. Part of that is sharing. Part of that is also motivating people to join this important cause, because there are so much to be done. And we believe innovation is one way we can be able to make a huge dent in what's going on in our community. Just think about light bulb, right? If you think about light bulb, it's been around over 100 years. incandescent light bulb. But today, many of us using LED. And at the time when the LED first came out, it was a new innovation. People thought it too expensive. It didn't make sense. And people are really conservative in adopting LED technology. But today, because of LED, we can save so much more power that also lasts 20 times longer than traditional light bulb. It's a much more better saving as well as better power ratio. And it makes a lot of sense to be adopted as a part of our daily usage.
That's great. So let's talk about some of the successful companies that come out of XTC. Can you share a few, Bill?
Sure. Last year we had an amazing overall winner and female founder winner in a company called Microgen. And, the impact of the contest, it's hard to measure because, it is a contest that brings some visibility, some potential funding. This is a company that basically had a microbiome solution that could coat plant roots. You dip the seeds in, it coats the roots, and it creates a natural barrier to heavy metals in food. We've been in this world where industrialization has polluted the soil, and humans didn't even know that with every grain of rice, they're eating some cadmium and other heavy metals that could poison your body. They just didn't even know. So Microgen had this amazing solution that is low cost, very scalable. And right after the contest, they attracted a bunch of funding from the judges that empowered them to go and have a little bit more reach. There's a shot that they'll have $100 million in orders in 2023 now. So they're quoting a bunch of big agricultural fields where people know they need to do something. So that's just one example of a recent contestant that has gotten a little bit more of its sea legs with help from this contest.
Great, and Young?
We're at Rewire, a company from Israel, and it's a company that are helping really through fintech to give identity and credit so that when the migrants go from one country to another, they typically don't have any credible credit history. And how do you then be able to open a bank? How do you wire money? And this always has been very cumbersome process, very expensive. And I think Rewire want to change all that with the digital technology and bring the cost of friction down, give them an identity so that they can be able to have a proper banking experience between the new country to their home country. And I think that ability to democratize the whole cost structure of doing a fintech is very important for many people that are migrating from one location to another.
Mm-hmm. And that's just two of many, many great examples.
Right.
So I want to bring us back to the global finals. It's so great to be here hosting this event, and we're joined by leaders in the public and private sectors. Why should startups, VCs, and corporations, policymakers, philanthropists, and academia get involved with XTC? Bill?
XTC has become a marketplace for innovation. If you think about, for example, in the corporate world, I'd guess that roughly half of the Fortune 100 from 25 years ago are no longer in the Fortune 500. And they've been basically replaced by companies that have out-innovated them. So I think we're in this world of accelerating rapid change where if you don't have your fingers on the pulse of the new things that are going to disrupt your business, you could be gone. And so I think no company can have every person in the world that's innovating in their sector under their own umbrella. It's just not the way the world is anymore. So this is a place where companies, policymakers, venture capitalists, universities can all come to see what's happening from the best of the best. There were 3,700 companies in this contest this year from 92 countries, and they're just blossoming with all kinds of new ideas that have actually been implemented in forms where they're starting to get real traction and starting to build businesses. So I think, this is a place to be.
Great. Young?
Well, I think what's important here is that we all know innovation is important. Entrepreneurship can be very lonesome, especially working on global innovation from different remote locations. And we want to give a fair chance to everybody to participate and create a road of innovation journey from a startup to corporation interest, making sure we create a highway so we can accelerate from the startup journey all the way to corporate awareness.
And it's absolutely awesome to be on this ride with you, our stakeholders. So as we wind down XTC 2021, give us a sneak peek into what to expect in the new year. Bill?
What to expect. I think, we're at this inflection point where I think innovation, it's been inflecting. So it's not a new inflection point, but we're continuing this upward slope of data-driven, new technology-driven, innovative companies that are coming out of nowhere and growing big really fast. So I'd say as we look forward, we're just going to see the kind of things that we've been seeing for the last few years in size and at scale a lot more rapidly. So, I know when I seeded Zoom years and years ago, if somebody had told me you might get a unicorn out of that, I would have been very excited. Little that I think would it be a centacorn, or a decacorn first and then a centacorn now. So it is possible now to build $100 billion value companies in less than a decade out of interesting innovations in mainstream markets where technology matters. And I hope that a couple of them come out of the XTC.
And I think these companies, whether Zoom, Berkeley Lights, all these companies helping to include all of us in more equal ways. So I think not only these companies are valuable, but I think that has a huge impact in our lives.
Great. And going back to Bill, any new announcement to share about our new year?
We certainly do. Over the years, we've been building a repeatable, scalable pod of innovation around the world and adding all kinds of geographic groups. We now, under Victoria and Young's leadership, have added a focus on tapping amazing talent that focuses on diversity. Last year, we added a Female Founder Award. This year, I'm excited to announce that in partnership with the organization Smartrepreneur, we're empowering even more people by adding a new category aligned with historically Black colleges and universities across the USA, also known as HBCUs. So for XTC 2022, there's going to be a direct path from that category to the finalist pool. That finalist pool is a pool chosen from this year, 3,700 applicants. So that group from HCBU is going to have a direct path into that pool that produced this year the 7 finalists. So if you're excited about that and an administrator of the HBCU schools, please reach out to Victoria at extremetechchallenge.org.
Young, any news to share?
Yes, we have some great news to share, Victoria. It's my pleasure to announce XT's partnership with Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations to empower technology entrepreneurs working to defeat hunger and to improve nutrition and food security worldwide. As resources become constrained due to climate changes and population growth, we need a game-changing solution to create better, sustainable food system. This partnership will provide exceptional XTC startups the broader exposure, recognition, and opportunities to scale their businesses and apply their solutions to real important challenges. We look forward to showcasing XTC startups with the greatest potential at the upcoming World Food Forum Startup Innovation Awards this fall. Here to share more about this partnership, it's my pleasure to introduce Beth Bechtel, Deputy Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations.
Hi, everyone. I would like to thank Young, Bill, and Victoria and the Extreme Tech Challenge team for inviting me here today, and a warm welcome to everyone in the audience for the XTC Global Finals. My name is Beth Bechtel. I'm Deputy Director General at the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, or FAO. And it is with great enthusiasm that I am here to announce our partnership with XTC in the form of the World Food Forum Startup Innovation Awards. Strategic partnerships are essential to fostering and scaling up innovative solutions and bringing about the transformative change we need to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. By pooling our knowledge, our ideas, and our resources, and complementing each other's strengths, we can overcome the challenges we face as a global community. Equally essential, though, is harnessing the potential of young people and empowering young entrepreneurs to become catalysts for positive change. The World Food Forum is an independent global network of partners, a brainchild of FAO's own Youth Committee, and it is led by young people to spark a movement that transforms our global agri-food systems and helps us to achieve the SDGs, including zero hunger. The World Food Forum Startup Innovation Awards, powered by XTC, will identify the contestants who entered the 2021 Extreme Tech Challenge that show the greatest potential for driving change in agri-food systems. We look forward to announcing the winners at the World Food Forum, which will be held from October 1st to 6th this year. But now, back to today, and why I am so thrilled to be welcoming you to the XTC Global Finals presented by TechCrunch. In the wake of COVID-19, it has become increasingly clear that there is much work left to do to build back better and to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Today, there are 700 million people in this world going hungry. 10% of the world's population lives in extreme poverty. And yet, on the other hand, another 650 million people are obese. And by 2050, this planet will have an additional 2 billion people. We need to reimagine agri-food systems. The scale of the challenge of climate change, of biodiversity, loss, and adaptation is staggering, and it requires united global awareness and bold action. FAO recognizes that empowering innovation, connecting public and private sectors, and identifying game-changing solutions are the keys to creating the exponential shifts that will enable us to create a better food future for everyone. That is why the work that XTC is doing is so critical. I come from a background where advancing innovation for sustainable development was a priority, and the opportunity given here by XTC to bring tech for good is one that can really help foster those advancements on a global scale. So again, my thanks to the XTC team for creating this fantastic platform and for bringing FAO as a partner to it. And for our partnership, we know which will be very successful going into the future. To today, all of the contestants and winners, I thank you for driving change, for finding solutions, and for delivering impact.